Hi everyone, thank you for joining us on today's Politics One-on-One. We have Mr. Juan David Yrausquin, who is number 9 on the A.V.P. list. Welcome.
Thank you
for joining us. Now let's get right into it because 15 minutes is not that long. First and foremost, Mr. Juan David, I want to know your political agenda for the new term.
Well, one of the things we started with in the past 4 years is a just and durable Aruba. And a just and durable Aruba means where everybody has equal opportunities, where there's whatever you have a right to. You don't need a personal political involvement. And a durable Aruba means sustainable, where you think about the future generation in everything you do. And in the next term, I want to continue on this. Past term, I was focused on Parliament, and this time I'm open for an executive position.
All right, that's perfect. Now, from my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, you had a very high position at ATIA, Aruba Trade Industry Association, and you have your family background also. You have a business background, but also your family is very heavily involved in the business sector. Now, can you tell me in terms of the deficit, the government's deficit has definitely been in the headlines. Can you talk about from your perspective, from your experience and knowledge, from your background, what's your perspective on balancing the budget for the new term?
Yeah, A.V.P. has a plan. We just presented the party program in the past Saturday to our members, and it was approved, and I'm very happy about that. I think what is written in that program is what is going to get us out of this deficit situation.
Are you able to tell us some of the details from that program?
Yes. One of the things is in government in the past 12 years, every single year the expenses go up with 50 million a year. And one of the things we want to do in the coming 5 years is the same thing we did in the 2013 budget, is where we keep the expenses at the 2013 level. So basically in a 4-year term, that means you're going to save 200 million guilders. That's number one. The second thing is there's economic growth perspective in the coming 4 years. We see that from all the international agencies are projecting that. So that means there are going to be additional income for the government. What we also want to do there is want to make sure that we could do a better tax collection. We don't believe right now that we should increase the taxes. I think if we increase taxes right now, we hit the people that are already paying. And I think we should collect from people that are not paying their dues. And
who would these be?
Well, these are people that are, in the gray market, black market area. According to the IMF, it's a group of more or less 20% of our economy. We believe that in the coming 4 years, we can take down half of that, then at least 10%, we can increase the income if we do a better collection. That's another 100 million guilders there. Furthermore, we need to do reforms. The AZV, the APFA, and the AOV, which is our pension system, we need to do some reforms there. Basically, we don't have a sustainable system right now. We cannot continue in the same pace we're going right now. When the pension system was introduced, the age was 65, and we lived 70 years. Right now, the pension age is 60 years, and we live 80. So we used to cover 5 years, now we're covering 20 years. And the pension system is unsustainable right now. We need to sit down very quickly with the social partners and come up with some reforms and some solutions for this.
Now, you just spoke about taxes, how you don't believe we should raise taxes. In the tourism sector, it's basically 70%, if not more, of our GDP income. And quite frankly, the economic standings in Aruba is not so diversified. There are hoteliers who are very concerned that perhaps there will be more levies added to the tourism sector. Does A.V.P. have plans for this if you're reelected? And if so, don't you feel as though it will ultimately impact Aruba's competitiveness as an island because we are already expensive?
I think definitely we should be competitive. I mean, that's a very important aspect. At this point in time, the tax rates that we charge the tourists are in line with what we charge other, in other islands, the taxes. One of the big things of Aruba is that all of these taxes go into the tourism sector and get reinvested again back to promotion of Aruba. So, these taxes are producing money. The only tax we have one, I think a couple of dollars, $2 or $3 a day that is added right now. That's the only tax that is charged to the tourists that goes into the budget of the government to pay, social welfare, education, infrastructure. But everything else goes directly into the promotion of Aruba. And I think, we're doing a good job of promoting Aruba in the past years.
So basically you're saying in order for Aruba to grow as a destination, to attract more people, we have to keep investing, and then ultimately when you're investing, you ultimately need to collect from somewhere. And you feel as though this would be just and fair.
I think the levels that we are right now, that's good. I don't think we should increase more. The taxes that we're collecting right now is going back into the tourism and is being spent 100% on promoting an Aruba, on bringing the tourists back to our island. And I think that is very important because people need to know that you're there, and there's a lot of competition out there. And I think ATA is doing a good job of bringing tourists in Aruba, and that's why you're seeing figures where we're increasing the amount of tourists and the spending per tourist.
All right. I'd like to get to a little bit more of a personal level with you, Mr. Juan David. Now, in the public eye, from my perspective, you are one of the more outspoken candidates. If you see something wrong, you will say it. You will be out there. You're very outspoken. Now, as good as it is to have this integrity, of course, when sometimes you go against your party or against something, an issue or someone, it is controversial. Why do you choose to do this? What is the message that you want to send across to your colleagues, to your team, and then to the general public? What is the message? The message is that when we say something, we should do it, and to me that is extremely important. In 2009, we went to the electorate with a program, and we said this is what we're going to do in the coming 4 years. And in every criticism I had in the past 4 years is because in some level or another, we were not doing what we said we were going to do. And can you give me some examples? Well, it's very hard. But one of the things that I think we should have focused a little bit harder on maybe is on the personnel costs of the government. Okay. We've seen that has been increasing in the past 4 years. Now, when you talk to the minister, they say, "Well, we're at the negotiating table, and this is what we could do." I think we should have been a little bit harder on that. That's one of the things we said in our program. One of the things in our program was that we were going to reduce the amount of people in government, and that we were going to maintain the cost of personnel expenses. And that did not happen. Well, I think the amount of people that we wanted to reduce, like our plan was, we didn't do it. And the government says it's because of the refinery shutdown, etc. So, you have to understand the circumstances. I'm a very hardliner, in that sense. And I say, when we say something, we should do it, and there's no excuses. The government says, if you go in that direction, then you get a lot of social unrest. And definitely, I think, in the circumstances we had the past 4 years where, you had a very big decline in our economy. I understand that the government, wanted to remain with peace with all the social partners. It's just one of the things that, I've been criticizing the past 4 years. And that's where you see also, that's one of the touchy points in our deficit right now. It's the personnel expenses. Now, you just mentioned the refinery, which brings me to a point. In diversifying the GDP of Aruba, where to get profit from, money from, because right now we have tourism. What is your vision? How can we diversify and ultimately have more economic pillars to collect from? I think there's some. That's one of the things I really did agree with this government on. Okay. They pushed a lot on the third economic pillar. Right. On using Aruba. We're part of the Kingdom of the Netherlands, part of Europe, and we are in the Latin America and Caribbean region. And the idea is that we use Aruba to as a jumping point, to do business. From Europe to Latin America. Right. And there's billions and billions of euros and dollars being traded between these two continents. And Aruba, we just need 1% or 1 promille. So 1,000 of, how to say that?
that's what we need.
Right.
And I think we're doing really good job of promoting Aruba here. We have TNO already established. There's more businesses going in that direction. We had the Europe Meets America conference, and there's a lot of seeds that have been planted there that I'm sure that are going to pay off in the coming years.
That's what I was just going to say. The foundation is definitely set. There's definitely been a lot of information handed out to the media. It's been spreading to the public. But is it realistic? Within how many years can we get this gateway going and actually see results?
I think in the coming 10 years you will see the results. It's when we started with the first hotel in Aruba, people thought they were crazy, that there's only some animals going to stay in that hotel, and now it's the most important pillar of our economy. I think I see the same way with the third economic pillar. It's right now it doesn't bring in anything; it just costs money.
Right.
You see some businesses that are starting. But it's not going to bring up something until in the coming 10 years, and I definitely see, that this is going to be something of the future. I think tourism is very important. We should keep, promoting Aruba. We should keep bringing in quality tourists, and we should keep upgrading our tourism industry. But we need to create higher level jobs, and the third economic pillar is very important for that.
All right, and let's get back to a more personal level with you. You have a family business, people know that. It is a thriving business, if I may say so myself. Why did you decide to go into the world of politics, where things are unknown and it's a new journey? Why not stick to something that is comfortable within the name Yrausquin?
Well, I like a challenge, and when I went into politics, I was 29. And
young,
I was
very young.
yes. Now I'm 33. I was 5 years the managing director of the company, and at a certain point, it started to become a routine. We had huge challenges in the beginning, and at a certain point, it was going better. And at a certain point, I was saying, that it's becoming a routine. And when you're 29 and you're in a routine, it's not not a good thing. And at the same time, I was the president of the ATIA, the employers organization, and I really saw that I was really motivated, for the public cause. And, so declining interest in the family business, more interest in the public cause, and I like to fight a lot of it there. And that's where, I started talking to people. Nobody really, tells you go into politics. Everybody says, don't go.
Right.
But we made that jump, and I'm happy I'm in here.
You just felt it was in your blood.
Yes.
It was something that you had
to
do.
Yeah, I have some, my family is not, none of them is in politics, and I had a great granduncle who was in politics, and I think he's a very big example for me.
Okay, great. I need to get back to something that you mentioned before in terms of the gateway, gateway as a new economic pillar. There's also the green sustainability. Now, between the two, as I'm sure you know, Prime Minister Mike Nyman has really been driving for the green economic pillar. Between the gateway, between Europe Meets Americas and the green sustainability, which one would you say is more realistic?
I think both are important, and they're interrelated. Aruba wants to become, the island where everybody comes to see, how we transformed from a fossil-based industry, a fossil-based economy, to a completely durable and sustainable economy where energy is produced completely sustainably. And the knowledge that we create and that we gather from that, we need to export. People are going to want to come here. They want to know how we did it. And I think that is going to attract a lot of investment, and it's going to attract know-how, and we can export that. So I think these two things are interrelated.
Great. Thank you so much. All the best to you. Thank you so much for coming on OneOnOne today. Success.
Thank you very much.
Thank you everyone at home for tuning in. We will see you next time on the next edition of OneOnOne. That was really good. Thank you. you.